often ask if we recommend any books that they could read to help them with their current situation. And I wrote an article on 11 books that we suggest people to read. Rather than summarize all of those books for everyone, which they could read in the article, I just want to focus on something to note about anything that you read. And that is the information you're going to take in is going to be extremely insightful and helpful. The design flaw of those books are you have to, if you want to improve the quality of your life, follow the directions of the books. You know, some of the best books that I've ever read with great insight are just that unless action is taken. A lot of people read self-help books, and there's an old comical saying that says the problem with self-help books are they start with self. And our inner self is often what our problem is. You know, to summarize the books, anything that you can read on codependency, on boundaries, children with adult alcoholic or drug addicted parents, such as ACOA books, Codependent No More by Melody Beattie, one of my favorite books, Realm of the Hungry Ghost by Dr. Gabor Mate, which of course goes into his beliefs of what he thinks drives addiction. And then, of course, there's Pleasure Unwoven, which believes in the disease model, and just comparing the two is something that can help a lot of people. But at the risk of getting confused with everybody that has something to say about addiction, remember, you have very little to no control over the substance user directly. You have control almost entirely over yourself and what you do next, how you can change their environment, how you can set boundaries, how you can hold them accountable, how you can work on your codependency, how you can understand and identify why it is you are enabling. So to say that you can't control the addict, not directly. However, there are many, many things a family can do to change the environment around the substance user that keeps them comfortable in their addiction. And I think one of the biggest profound moments I had seen in a movie, coincidentally a book called Clean, which is also the movie A Beautiful Boy, was when I was watching that movie. And if anybody's ever talked to me on the phone, they may have heard me reference this part where Steve Carell, who plays Nick Sheff's dad, is getting ready once again to leave the home and go and save his son. And when his wife, Nick's stepmom, asks Steve Carell, Nick's dad, where he's going, he says, I'm going to help Nick. And she just screeches out, you can't help him. And the movie turns towards boundaries and accountability and Steve Carell backing off on, enabling and rescuing his child. So I think any of the books that you decide to read, keep in mind that setting boundaries, working on what it is inside of you that drives towards keeping the substance user comfortable is something that you want to look at. And I'd like to just remind everybody that, anytime you have the opportunity to sit down and read the book of Alcoholics Anonymous and or Narcotics Anonymous and get to open meetings, and open as anybody can attend, whether you're an addict or an alcoholic or not, I think it's extremely helpful for families of addicts and alcoholics to get some fresh and real perspective and insight from sober addicts and alcoholics, when anybody watching this has probably heard nothing but manipulation and dishonesty from an active substance user. So it's always helpful to get out there and get with other people who have been in the trenches, who have now improved the quality of their life. And of course, anytime a family can get to Al-Anon, ACOA meetings, Families Anonymous meetings, etc., you're going to just start to better yourself, regardless of whether or not your loved one decides to stop using drugs or alcohol.